Before Bookstagram, I thought liking books was enough. And then suddenly there were rules and scales and stars and opinions.
Yes, it turns out we didn't just join an app. We joined like an entire realm.
Nobody tells you that Bookstagram comes with homework.
Yeah. The things I've learned and how to
Oh,
research. Oh my goodness.
oh,
Yeah.
100%.
I've learned so much in a very short amount of time I have been on there.
Well, I remember seeing someone say, this one has a 4 spice,
Mm,
4 peppers. And I
yeah.
was like, well, compared to what?
Yeah. I had no idea there were such things as spice scales or spice. Like, I knew there were, like, Fabio books and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but, yeah, not, like, in my normal day-to-day reading anymore. So like, I'm pretty sure at Guitar, I was like, "Wait a minute, people write books like this in the fantasy? Okay, where are some more of these?"
Well, I would say definitely Bookstagram humbled us immediately because
Yeah.
we thought we knew, but we didn't know.
Um, I mean, for me, it also the abbreviations. Oh my gosh. I had no idea what ARC even meant, which is advanced reader's copy. Um, DNF like did not finish a book, and that's another thing I could get into. Like, wait a minute, no one finishes a book. How do you rate a book if you didn't finish it? I'm not a quitter, but I've learned that it's okay
But
to
we
be a
have
quitter.
learned now that we'll get into this. Hey, book babes, welcome to Two Girls, One TBR. Your chaotic book besties here to wreck your reading list, one morally gray man at a time. Today, we're talking about the things that nobody tells you before joining the Bookstagram book world.
Yeah.
The unspoken rules, the language, the ratings, the culture shock. If you're new, lurking, or still feel like you've missed a meeting, this episode is for you. Now, I'm obviously not doing this alone. Heather is here because
Hello.
processing Bookstagram lore requires emotional support.
Yes, it does. Uh,
So now, since we're doing our whole little drink check-in now with
hmm.
our episodes this season, what are you drinking today?
I have coffee because I'm a tired mom, but I have my
Coffee's good?
enemies to lovers mug.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. And I
That
have
is
my
cute.
Tog water with my the 13 here with me. Oh,
Very
wait, you
nice.
haven't
That's
read
a
Tog.
nice one.
So these are the dragon witches
That's
from
pretty. I
Tog.
like that one.
Yeah.
Now, myself, I am drinking my Coke
Your
because I need
Coca-Cola.
caffeine. Now,
Sponsor
if you
us.
this Coke needs to come sponsor us. Now,
Yeah, I love
now,
Coke. I
now,
almost grabbed
now,
one. I did.
now, if you
Almost.
notice I'm a little stuffy, I've had a cold all this week, so I do apologize if I do sound stuffy. But but I am feeling much better in comparison to even a week ago. So now, what are you reading right now, Heather?
Ooh, okay. So I know we just talked about our TBRs that we are doing. So I
Yes.
have started uh Road of Bones. Dang it. You know me in titles.
Yes.
But that book
Yes.
was by Demi Winters. How did I remember the author's name and not the actual title? I have no idea. But Road of Bones, I'm finally listening to that and I'm about halfway or more and it's really good. And it's it's a detailed fantasy. It's not like hard world building. It's very like
Hmm.
slow, gradual learning as you go. Um Unreliable narrator kind of situation. It's not first person point of view. I don't know point of view. Sorry, I'm not a literature major, but it's definitely not first person. It's like a thirdish person thing.
So it's more like she's telling their story.
Yeah, and yeah, and because it goes into other people's point of views in a way, like they'll
Okay.
say like, what is I want to call him Diego for some reason. I don't think that's his name. Diego, was looking at her and is frustrated and like you can like he has the emotions and what he's thinking and what he's feeling, but then it's not his point of view, it's just like an overall general. So,
Oh, okay.
whatever kind of point of view that is. I don't mind point of
Would that be
views. I'm
third?
not a
Would that be
cinch with
would
that.
that be third person point of view?
That's what I thought. So, I'm going
Hmm.
with that.
See, I haven't read those ones yet. They are on my TBR list, but
Yeah.
I haven't read them. I don't own them yet,
Yeah, it's
but I
really
plan
good.
to.
Um, it is, I wouldn't say it's not action-packed, but it is just like a slow rolling kind of story with your
Hmm.
getting to know your main character, like something's off. She acts real suspicious and something's going on, and you kind of get like little bits here and there, and then she meets new characters and they have their little bits, and then they go through some turmoils and they're on this adventure. So it's a very long kind
And
of
it's a slow
gradual
burn, isn't it?
story. Yeah, in a
Yeah.
sense, like she isn't like a wild lady, but she has never had a lover before or like a husband or
Oh.
anything. And then there's like some very hot warriors around. So she's like intrigued. And so there is like some of that like bashful banter and
Oh, okay.
like the one's a womanizer that she of course likes, because who doesn't like the womanizer?
Well, of course they
And
know
it's
exactly what to say to you.
yeah. So
Exactly.
so she's like, "Woo! Like, I need to stop with this man. Like, he's no good." Like,
Oh, see
oh
that
man,
that sounds
it's
like a good one.
fun.
And the third book comes out February,
Soon.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have them all
Everybody
lined
I've
up.
heard that has read that has said it's a very
It
good
is.
series.
Yeah.
And I think this completes, I think the third book completes it. It's a
I think
trilogy.
so. Yeah. And she's got a little novella or like a half book in there.
Mm, I'll have to make
Yeah.
sure I
So
look at that on
4
Goodreads and mark
altogether,
it.
but I think it's like a frost, like Akatar's
Oh, just a little
Starlight.
mini book.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what that
Now,
is.
now I'm still deep in Crescent City.
Okay.
I'm on book
You're on the
3.
last one. Yeah.
I'm on the last one and
Well, yeah.
I have just this much to go. And
That's quite a bit.
I've had some shocking moments
Oh,
occur,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have I have a lot more theories into play into the ACOTAR world now with
Yeah.
book 3. Book 3 has answered, or I shouldn't, well, some has answered some things, but yet it opened up a whole big can of
Yes.
questions for me.
Yes.
Um, and how I feel that things tie together and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And now I have discovered Hunt's true self as well. I've discovered
Mhm.
that last night, but
Mhm.
that's as far as I got, and then I went to sleep. But I was like,
Okay.
I'm
Have
like,
you
well,
figured
that's
out who
intriguing.
day and night are?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, because they've had their
Trist?
menage a trois. Yes, and then now they're in together in
Oh, yeah.
person now.
Um, I
Because
find like towards the end of the book, I led towards that relationship most. That, and I love the otters that deliver
oh, I
messages.
know
Those
the
are my
little
favorite
otters.
characters.
Well at the moment because because there's was it Lehaba that was in the
Oh,
first one, the little
Lahaba?
fire.
Yeah.
Lahaba. Oh,
Uh-huh.
I loved her so
I
much, and she
know.
just made my heart so
I
sad and all that.
know.
And that, but then there's the other little ones that show up later, and they're just so cute. I'm just like, oh, I
I
love
know.
them. But the little
There's a lot of
otters
good
were
side
so cute.
characters. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I think in this Cressa City has like their cuter little side characters, I guess, in a lot of ways. I mean, in Akatar we had the surreal and I guess it would be only the surreal. There really wasn't any other little side
Yeah.
characters that were really. It was more people side characters. But in
Yeah.
Crescent City there was that neat part of it.
Mhm.
So I'm quite excited to see the conclusion of this
Yeah.
book. And then I don't know what I'm gonna read next.
Do you
I'm on
like
a
book
fence.
3 better than book 2, or would you say book 2 so far is your favorite this far along?
I I have loved all 3 of them.
Okay.
'Cause see, I don't understand where people are saying, like, there's people I've talked to and they're like, they hated book 3, they hated the whole Crescent City thing. I have absolutely loved it. But for me,
Yeah.
book 3, but I'm looking at it maybe different because I'm like, oh, I have so many more answers, but yet
Yeah.
some more questions.
That's how I kind of was. Um
I like
the
book 3. I've been enjoying it because
yeah.
it's neat.
Uh I think the ending of book 3 I feel like it could have been better. I don't know. There's just like
Hmm,
so much that happened really fast, and I have not reread them. So I also wonder too if I was like like, oh
mm-mm.
my gosh, what's happening? What's happening? What's going to
Well,
happen? And so I didn't get, I don't know, I didn't absorb enough of it maybe, but I
I'll
was
tell
kind of
you when I
disappointed
get
in it.
there. I'll tell you when
Yeah.
I get to the end. I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah.
Because
Like
right
I
now it's
really loved book 2 for some reason. Like that was
well,
like
like
intense for me.
with Sarah's books, when she writes, it doesn't matter what book it is, you have a whole lot of stuff going on and you're building and you're building and you're building. And then you get to that last third of the book or the last quarter of the book, whatever, depending which book you're reading. And then it's like da 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 dun dun dun. And it's like all this insanity is happening. And it
Yes.
gets very like a whole lot is happening. A lot of craziness is happening. And that
Mhm.
happens in every one of her books. The last
I
parts of
know.
her books are crazy. And right now, it's absolutely crazy, the stuff that's happening right now.
Yes.
The stuff what she
It
has
is
just
throughout the
done. And
3rd book. It's, like, constant, and it's, like, constant loss, which also makes it very, like, intriguing to keep reading too,
mhm.
because 'cause you're like, "Oh my gosh, does anything go right?" Like, I need a
I
win.
I feel bad for now I pronounce it. Do you pronounce his name Ethan? Ethan? It's
Oh, yeah. I
how
just
do
say
you
Ethan.
pronounce it?
I
You
think
say
it is
Ethan?
Ethan. I say Ethan. Yeah.
It's whatever his name is, the
Yeah.
wolf guy,
Uh-huh.
the wolf shifter guy.
He
Nothing
gets
goes well
annoying.
for him,
I know. He
but
kinda
but
his
nothing
story
goes
kinda
well for him. No,
yeah.
I have to look at it. He's really young. He's
Yeah.
very young, and he has had a whole lot of horrendous things happen to him.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, just in his own family itself, what happened, and then,
Yeah. There's just
and
so
then I think a
much.
lot of the people in his pack, and then they tried to turn him against other people.
Yeah.
Because if someone hasn't read Crescent City, I'm not going to tell you. I mean, it's just he has a lot of things
Yeah.
happen to
Poor
him,
guy.
and so I think it's a lot. He has a lot of trauma. I think he probably has a lot of PTSD.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So,
A lot
but
happens with him.
a lot of habits with and I like him. Now from what I've gathered, now this is this trilogy. And Sarah has said she is going to be writing Crescent City
Another
4.
one. Yeah.
But I think well, at least from what Chelsea has told me that she feels this trilogy kind of ties up the loose ends with Hunt and Bryce. So she thinks that if when we're going to book 4, it probably will be focused on someone else. So maybe
Mhm.
it will be Rune, maybe
Yeah.
his destiny of what is going to happen with him.
I still think he might be related to Reese. I think there's
I
some
think there's
relations across the borders.
well, I mean, she thought when Bryce sees him, she thought he is Rune. So
Mhm.
they must look a tremendous amount
Because
alike.
they have, like, the violet purplish eyes,
In
blue.
ACOTAR, we do get on the ACOTAR miniseries.
That
We're leaning into
discussion.
stuff in that. We'll be going into
Yeah.
because I've been deep diving so much because I've been reading and like
Mhm.
Chelsea said, the way I'm reading Crescent City is different than how she read it
Okay.
because I'm looking for answers more. I'm paying
Okay.
attention to all the details
Yeah.
instead of when she read it, she just read it through. Maybe kind of like how
That's
when you read it.
It's kinda like how I read it. I was
So
I
I'm
did
looking for
find the
those clues.
relations, especially, like, I did see stuff Tog related too. So,
Yes,
it's kinda like, "Oh, interesting." Like, I had just read Tog, I did Akatar, Tog, and then Crescent, and I was like, "Hey, wait a minute, I just read something about this in Tog." And so, I thought that was kinda cool.
hmm,
Of course, like, back then, that was before Bookstagram. It was, like,
yes.
right before I started annotating and things like that, so I never, like, jotted stuff down like that, yeah. I didn't tag anything, highlights
As
were
I
nothing for me, but now, if I go
oh
back,
yeah,
I wanna do a
I mark.
reread and, like, really look into some stuff once
Oh yeah, I have all my
we have
marked
a date.
now. But now like in Crescent City 2, I think I have a couple things marked. I have a lot more things marked in this one. Um, there's a lot more things I've noticed and
Yeah,
stuff like that. Because I have theories of the Autumn King. I have theories of him and how he's related in there because he reminds me of Baron from
yeah,
ACOTAR. But we know now we realize with the Dust Court from Akatar and Crescent City, how it's tied together,
Mhm.
all of that kind of stuff. But like I said, we're going to be talking about that in our Akatar miniseries. So if you have read, Akatar, Crescent City, Throne of Glass, you read those, check out our miniseries. Heather's been on it. Chelsea and I predominantly do that one.
Mhm.
But we have a lot of deep, deep theories
Yeah.
and things that, and again, remember people, some of these are not our opinions. I look out on the internet to see what is out there. These are other people's thoughts. So,
Yeah.
but people do get people do get upset a little bit with some of
Yeah. We're
the
just
theories, especially when we said that it was possible that Rhysand had a child with Amarantha.
oh, yeah.
People did not enjoy that one. But now,
Uh,
what did reading look like to you before you started Bookstagram? What did it look like to you
um,
before this world?
right? Like, I never reviewed books.
Mm-mm.
Unless I was
Nope.
on my Kindle and it would ask me to, and I'd be like, 5 stars, 5 stars, like no actual writing involved. I would
Mhm.
just star rate a lot of stuff if I was prompted to. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't think that was like a big thing, which now I have learned it's actually very good for the authors, especially indie
Yes.
authors, if you do review, even if it's a sentence or two. So I
Mhm.
do try and at least like, hey, vibes, yes. Like even if it's just like quick statements, I'll try my best to like get a review in. Um, but yeah, like I used to just rate things 5 stars because I finished it
Yeah.
and it was a vibe. Like I didn't think much into it. I still try to act like that when I'm reviewing instead of like I said, like I'm not a literature major. I have no idea like
Well,
the ins and outs of how to write a book. So,
now myself, like, because I'm very like I don't do arcs and things like that. We'll get into what an arc is if you don't know. But I curate my books that I read. I research a whole bunch. It's not necessarily what the book is about. I research like how have other people that have read it, what do they think?
yeah.
That kind of thing. So everything that I have read has been, for me, in my scale and how much I loved it, everything's been a 5 star. I've only had one book that I DNF'd, and I've told you that was Zodiac Academy.
Yeah.
But I just didn't like the vibes of it. It just wasn't for
Well,
me.
yeah, like
But yeah.
before, I mean, talking about that, like what you like your spice levels, like you know now what you
Oh,
like.
I know now.
Like
Oh,
before,
yes.
I had no idea what
Yeah.
tropes were. Okay,
No.
tropes are like a way to describe a synopsis of a book just with like a few detailed words. And we now know like enemies to lovers, what
Oh,
that
yeah.
means, but I didn't before. And then as I realized like on books being on Bookstagram now, like you go through these books and you see the trope maps. They're called trope maps when you go scrolling and you're like, "Oh, that book sounds familiar tropes to this book that I liked." And
So
then
more than
that's
likely
how
I don't
I
like it.
was realizing like, "Okay, I think I like Second Chance and Enemies to
Yeah.
Lovers and and I'm like, "But what do I like about those?" Because 'Cause they're all different. Like people think sometimes those are spoilers, tropes, but I mean, if I know my enemies are going to become lovers, that's fine, right? Like I
Yes. I
like
agree.
that, but it's how the story is written to get there. So that's what I rate now is like, did I like the chemistry? Did I like the banter? Did I like um the exploration they go on?
Yeah.
Some kind of traumatic bonding maybe is fun
It's
for me.
it's it seems like a lot of the ones that we read, that seems to be what happens in our
Yeah.
niche. Now before, like, years ago when I would read, I used to like to read, of course, fiction was always this is how I just thought there was fiction, nonfiction.
Yeah.
And I knew I liked fiction. I mean, I would do a little bit of nonfiction, read some biographies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then I realized, oh, fiction. Again, I did not realize how many categories there were. I knew I like to read like medical thrillers. I
Mhm.
like to read like true crime.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know what you would consider Janet Evanovich, because it was like crime, I guess, and it was with
Yeah.
some comedy and stuff like that. And that's what I read back then. And then when I started this whole little world, which started me back, was ACOTAR,
Me
because I
too.
knew I knew I was listening to another podcast, had nothing to do with books. It was True Crime and Cocktails. It has Lauren
Yeah.
Ash and her cousin Christy, and Christy reads, and she was talking about that she was reading, and her husband called it, and he was saying her fairy smut, and it was Fourth Wing is the book she was
Okay.
talking about. And again, at that
Yeah.
time,
Faye.
no idea what any of this was.
Yeah.
So I just took that little seed and I put it, tucked it away. I put that book on my Amazon shopping list, and I thought, oh, still again, did not know what any of that really meant.
Yeah.
So then you flash forward, because this was like almost a year after I heard just that name. I asked out, I was playing a online video game, and I asked just out in general chat, does anybody know of any good fairy smut? Because I knew that term. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I'm going to get into this. And then that's when I got recommended ACOTAR, and
Yeah.
actually a few other ones as well, but ACOTAR stood out.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was ACOTAR either. It was A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Uh-huh.
That was just the title. And after that, I got that, and it
I
it's kind
know.
of snowballed.
Yeah.
And then I started realizing, like you were saying, like ACOTAR, then there's like a whole, like I found out I like spicy romantasy. I
Mhm.
like dark fantasy.
Mhm.
I like dark romance. That's my niche.
Yeah.
That's what I like. Now, some people like read all over the place. I do not.
Yeah.
That's my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
That's what I like. And
I
you seem to be in that wheelhouse. You have a little bit more, but
I
we're in a
do
very
branch
similar
out.
wheelhouse though.
Yeah. I think I have what I know I will like, and then I have,
Yeah.
like, my palette cleansers, like cozy romance. Sure, I'll do one of those, or even if it's, like, a spicy romantasy, but it's, like, cozy, like, they're in the cottage and it's, like,
Yes.
cutesy kinda stuff. So I'll, like, palette cleanse a little bit, because sometimes when I go straight to, like, one realm, all this magic wielding, to another one, I get a little, sidetracked with
Mhm.
my ADHD, and
Yeah.
I'm just kinda like, "I'm not ready to, like, dive into a brand new world," so I do need those palette cleansers. But yeah, like, I used to read a lot more thrillers than I do now that
Yep.
my TBR is a lot more romantasy. Um, and the last fantasies that I had read were, like, Harry Potter and Twilight back in the day, and then
Mhm.
I came across some book people on Instagram, I mean, just scrolling as a mom, and I was like, "Oh, these look interesting. Oh, this
Yep.
is a fantasy? I like fantasy. Let me see what this is about." And then so I started kind of getting on KU, Kindle Unlimited, and finding new series, and one of them was ACOTAR,
Okay,
because
so that's how
people
you
were
got
just
yours.
talking about ACOTAR.
Well,
So
let me ask you this. Now, before you found anybody, like before you found stuff on Instagram and stuff like that, how did you find your books before that? For me, it was just going to the actual book, the actual bookstore,
oh,
and
okay.
looking at the books, and like reading the backs of the books is mostly what I did. I mean, I would order some books on Amazon and stuff like
Mhm.
that, but I really liked to go into the bookstore, and I liked,
Yeah.
picking up the book and looking at it. But
Yeah.
now I don't really necessarily do that. I I like to see what other people are saying about a book now
Yeah.
before picking up something random now.
Right.
That's, at least for me, I have found that's why I've curated the books that I have. I already know these are going to be excellent books. I don't
Yeah.
have to worry that I'm going to be like disappointed. I know they're going to be good based
Right.
upon
Yes.
how many other people. But before, that's how I used to find
Yeah.
them. How
Yeah,
about
I
you?
mean, magazines or word of mouth book
Hmm.
clubs, stuff like that. Sometimes it was, I was buying something at a store, and like that was the highlighted book of new releases or something, and that's how I used to buy books. Yeah, like I never was like, "Oh, I have to go get this book. It comes out." I wasn't like that before
It's weird, isn't
Bookstagram.
it? It's weird because it's like it was like another lifetime ago because of
Yeah.
how we used to be. Because like what I read now, I probably wouldn't have read back then, because feel my taste in books have changed.
Mhm.
Um, because now it's not that I wouldn't read a medical thriller again. It's not that I wouldn't
No.
read like Tess Gerritsen. I read a lot of her books, or
Yeah, I
Janet
like her.
Evanovich. I do like their writing and stuff, but that doesn't. Or Nicholas Sparks. I did read a couple of
Mhm.
his,
Yeah.
or even Stephen King. But I don't know if I would necessarily go back to that right now, right? Because now I
Yeah.
think I have truly found what I love.
Mhm.
Maybe, I guess. This
Yeah.
is I'm more accepting of what I love.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely read what you love, you know? You don't have to read something because other people are saying it's a popular read and you have to like it, and, like, if that's not your tropes, don't don't
Oh,
have
that's
to
the
read
that's
it.
the other that's the other thing. I have learned if it has a certain trope in it, like I am not a bully romance kind of person.
Mhm.
I don't like that vibe.
Yeah,
And if I know that's a trope that's in it, I more than likely won't read it because I know I don't like that
right.
myself personally.
Yeah,
That's just like I don't want to yuck other people's yums. I don't like Zodiac Academy, but that's me.
yeah,
I don't I don't like it, but there are tons of people that absolutely they put it as their top of the tier.
yeah,
But me, no, it's not.
yeah. I think, it's kinda like wine tasting,
Yeah.
right? Like, you drink all the sugary wine at first because you have no idea, you have no palate, you're just drinking whatever is available.
Yes.
And then as you go and you keep tasting and you realize, I kind of like these notes, right? I like
Yes.
this taste in wine.
Yes.
I like this berry. That's what we're doing as bookstagrammers now. We're just getting out there and tasting more genres and tropes and figuring out what we love.
And the thing is that I guess, with you, with Chelsea, with our book friends that we have, um, we love what we love, but we don't go and then be real nasty to like any of the people like on stuff that we don't like,
Yeah.
or uh to like other authors we don't like. We don't
Yeah.
go on other people's posts and be like, well, this was the worst book
Yeah.
ever.
How could
I
you
seen
like this?
I seen
um,
a video circulating, and there's this girl, and she's like, I can't trust any of yous on Bookstagram or Book Talk or
mm,
whatever it was, and because of the taste that you have and stuff.
then
I'm like,
stop watching.
I'm like,
Stop
what are you doing?
stop taking her advice then. Obviously, you don't like her books. Like, you don't read what she reads. Like, I know I will like books that other people that I know read what I read. And so if they're saying, "Hey, this is a great indie author book.
Yeah,
You're like, I love this." I'm like, "I like a lot of books that you read. I'm going to
oh
like
yeah,
that. So I'm going to try it." If that's not you, don't freaking watch those people. Like, I don't
well,
know. To me,
well,
that's like a
absolutely,
simple thing.
absolutely,
Keep
and
scrolling.
and like something like I did not realize, I did not even know indie authors existed. I
Mhm.
guess.
Yeah.
I guess in my mind, I just thought if a book was published,
Yes.
I always
Then
thought now that I understand, it was like a traditional publishing. So I thought that's the only way people were getting the book. Because again, if
I
you're
did
not in
too.
this world, you have no idea.
Yep.
And then there's, you have your indie authors, and they have like small publishing houses that will publish them, or they will self-publish their books.
Mhm.
And like, no idea.
I had no
Again,
idea.
none. So,
I've
I mean, but oh, yeah,
Yeah.
keep going.
Like, when I found indie authors, I was on KU reading a lot of stuff, which is where they are, which I now
Mhm.
know. Um, and I was reading Penn Cole, her Everflame series, which has,
Yes.
like, blown out of the water, and she's getting a trad deal for it, and I remember at the very end of book 3, horrible, horrible cliffhanger. I remember thinking like, "Oh my gosh, she has to put somewhere," like, I was scrolling all the way to the end of the book, like, "When does the next one come out?" And that's where I read in her, like, author letter at the end,
Yep.
and, she was like, "Please leave a review. I'm an indie author." I was like, "What is an indie author? What do you mean?"
Yep.
And, asking for reviews so that her books get out there and stuff like that. I'm like, "How do people not know this is not public? Like, what? Like, what is this?" And, so I signed up for her newsletter so I would know when the next book would come out, and that's where my adventure of Bookstagram began because she was talking arcs and street teams. And I was like, what is all this stuff? What do you mean? I thought you had a published book. Like, who are you?
Oh, see, like when I started my Bookstagram, I had my regular, my own. I had an Instagram that I had. I would put
Mhm,
like pictures of my family, my
mhm,
Christmas tree and stuff. And then I thought to myself when I started reading ACOTAR, and then I started looking up ACOTAR on Instagram, and that's when I started seeing. I'm like, oh, people have things that are just for their books. So then I made one. I said
mhm.
to my husband, I said, I'm going to make a Bookstagram. Does he know what that is? He still doesn't necessarily understand what I'm doing, um, because I said that last night, I said something about Bookstagram, and he's like, "What's that?" How does he not know almost 2 years into this? But
Uh,
that's him. But, so I started taking pictures, like, of my books, and I was just writing a little bit, below it, like, "Did I like it?" and stuff, and then that has now, snowballed, and I have, like, 300 or more posts or whatever, and I have
yeah,
full reviews, and
yeah.
I do reviews on my Instagram. I put them up on Goodreads. I've been doing
Yes,
all that.
all the
But again, I didn't know.
platforms. Yeah.
I
And I
didn't
had
know.
no idea there was different platforms of reviewing.
No.
And
Oh
I
no,
just
I didn't know
thought,
that either.
like, especially with Kindle Unlimited, I'm like, yeah, that's, I'll just like 5-star this. I don't know where it goes. I guess it was going to my Goodreads, and I had Goodreads from like way back. I had no idea that it was like a big thing to have, but
Oh,
I've
I
been
didn't
on
have
there for
Goodreads.
years.
I
And
don't think
when
I had
I,
Goodreads until last year.
yeah,
Hmm.
and, I never used it, like, it would just sync with my Kindle. So, yeah, I learned a lot about Goodreads. There's Storygraph, which is kind of a cool
Yep.
app if you keep up with it, because 'cause it'll tell you, like, how many pages you read in a day. Um, it lets you do like Goodreads does, where you can kinda put, like, little updates of thoughts
Yeah.
and stuff, little quirks, and then it graphs, like, how many books you read. So it'll say, like, "You've read this many of this author, this many of this author, this many books in your month, this many pages, this many audios." Like, it's a really cool app if you keep up
Uh,
with it.
Now another app that's similar to that is Fable. It
Yes.
does that kind of thing, but it's not. I don't think it counts how many pages you do, but you can keep track of if you read today, and then it compares, like it'll give you like a monthly breakdown of what you
Yeah.
did, like what genres you read, what your favorite author was and stuff. But
Yeah.
I used to do that, and I was so diligent, and I would do it all the time. And then I think I got burnt out,
You
and then I
get
kind
burnt
of
out.
stopped doing it.
Yeah.
And I kind of stopped, and I think it's because I had too many things happening.
Yeah.
Between Instagram, and then with TikTok, with Goodreads,
And just updating
it
reviews
just
on
all of
all
those,
those places, you're like,
it was too much.
"I just wanted one to go out."
So now I just have just the few that I'm on. But if you do like that, all of those are they're wonderful little apps. And also you can get from some of the little indie small businesses that we talked about over Christmas and that.
Mm.
They have a lot of like your little book review books or whatever. I don't know what to call
Oh,
them.
like
They're
journals? They're
journals, a book
journaling.
journal.
Yeah.
And
Those
you
are
can,
cool.
do your review, and, write your review and do your little stars, put the
I
little
know.
picture of your book and stuff.
Uh, I
I
need
would
to
love to be able to do that, but I think with my mind, how my mind is, it sounds like a wonderful idea, but
yeah,
I would probably do it for a little bit, and
and then
then it would stop.
yeah,
That's what would happen.
that's what
But
would
I love
happen
the
for me.
idea.
I know, I
And
love
then
it. I love when people do that and then they show them at the end of the year. They're really
and they're
cool.
beautiful.
They're
Yeah.
beautiful. But yeah, like mine would just get lost. My kids would take it and ruin it, put it somewhere I couldn't find it. Um,
My
yeah.
mine would be. my husband would find it and he would put it in one of my drawers. And
Mm.
then when it's in the drawer of my desk or something, because he straightens things, because
Ugh,
he's OCD and he
yeah.
cleans, he would put it away and then I would forget I had it. And
Uh-huh.
then I'd couple months later, then I'd be like, oh, I forgot I
Oh,
had this.
I should
And then I
update
wouldn't.
this. And then you're like, this is taking too long. That's me. I'm
And
like, I don't
that's
have time for this.
well, now the next thing here that since we're talking about this, let's talk about what we consider a spice scale.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
now again, did not know this exists. I mean, I understood there was different, like some books, I always considered spice like as just romance, I guess, in my
Yeah.
mind.
I thought it was
But
contemporary, which contemporary romance is very different from fantasy romance. There's different
yes.
romance subgenres. I had no idea. So yeah,
Oh,
I
no.
thought spice was romance, like
And
you're
I
saying.
thought it was just a blanketed thing.
Yes,
I didn't realize that, like, in the world of Bookstagram, Book Talk, all of these, people have a spice level.
they
Now,
do.
like from one chili pepper to five chili peppers, at
Yeah,
least that's what I do. And but I've discovered also that can be very varying between, what I think of spice, what you think of spice.
right.
Um, like just because I think something was a spicy scene, someone that might read
A
even
lot of
heavier
spice.
spice,
Yeah, they're
they
probably like,
might consider it,
it's
oh,
child's
that's
play.
mild. Yes. Like
Yeah.
now I typically, for me personally, I like three chili peppers and up.
Okay.
I'm not a closed door person, and I'm not where it's just like a little bit of romance there, a little bit of spice. I need full descriptions. I need descriptions of when things get unbuttoned, they go like this.
They
I need
spring.
they spring out.
how
I
how
need
thick it is.
I need full
What kind of
descriptions.
veins? Where are they going?
Yes. Piercings. Are there
Oh yeah,
piercings?
yeah.
I need full on descriptions and
Yeah.
I need to know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I need, and you know, uh, that's me, myself, and I have discovered that I am not a YA person. Now,
Right.
if you're new to the Bookstagram world, YA is young adult.
Hmm.
But if you're
So
listening to us, you should know by this point that we are not a YA genre loving people.
yeah, I think YA is
I don't
16
like
and
it.
older, 16 and up, and then like
Something
new adult is 18 and up, I think.
something like
Um,
that.
yeah, but I mean, some things you're like, well, I guess 18-year-olds, it's whatever. But I mean, 16-year-olds should not be reading some of these books
No.
right off
Would
the
I
get-go. They need to like
but I don't
branch
know.
it a little bit. I
Well,
don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't know because you have to think back to when we were 16 and stuff like that. What were the movies we were going to see and
Oh,
stuff? We were
true.
seeing R-rated movies
Yeah,
and there
that
were
I could
some
sneak
moments and
into.
things. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, so you have to look at that kind of thing. But myself, like, there's a lot of people that are in our book family little group that we talk with, and they will read young adult,
Mhm.
and they love it. Again, I'm not yucking anybody's yum, but that is not for me.
Sometimes a clean book
Uh,
is a good book. It's fine. I like a YA every once in a while. It's
n-
okay.
yeah, nope.
And
I'm not
Rebecca will
gonna.
say, "Not for me," and I'll say, "That's fine. This is not your book. I have one for you. Let me show you."
Yes, yes, exactly.
So it's
That's
good
what,
to know
like,
your preferences and what other people have
yes,
preferences. So, I
and
feel like it shouldn't be so black and white sometimes on Bookstagram where people I mean, you'll see people say, "Oh, I'm having such a bad time here. People are
yep,
really like coming at me for liking certain books or scenes or whatever it
yeah,
is." Even some people are like anti-spicers, like protesting on
mm-hmm,
there and stuff like that. And it's like,
yes.
if that is not you, there is an unfollow button, there is a block button. You can go on your settings and put what you do not want to see on there. You don't have to make it into a bad environment, negative and
Oh,
nasty.
absolutely. there was a girl that I was following. We were following each other or whatever. And I came across one of her posts, and she had decided, like, she was going completely no spice. Basically, anybody that was reading spice was basically welcoming the devil in.
Okay.
And I'm like, I went unfollow. It's not that I was anything against her. She can do whatever she wants, but I realized we're not gonna vibe anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't need her to follow me, and I don't need to follow her.
Yeah.
But luckily, I've been very fortunate through all my
So have
book
I.
reviews and everything like that. I've never had someone come on my stuff and be like, "You're reading that
Yeah.
devil," and stuff
I
like that.
haven't
But I
either.
have seen but I've
I
seen
have
people
seen
do
them.
that.
I have seen the trolls, but, I feel like there are so many people on Bookstagram, like, millions of people on
Yes,
there, you guys. Like, if you are not finding your people on there, you need to unfollow and, like, start searching and follow and,
clear your cache and stuff, have
yeah.
your algorithm do something
Like, if you're
different.
not vibing, there's a reason, like, your algorithm is shit. So, like,
Yeah,
let's revamp your algorithm so that you're meeting fun people on there because it's for friends. It's not for
yes.
followers. It's not, to become famous and viral. Like, yeah, that stuff
Oh,
would be
absolutely.
amazing and awesome, of course. But when you're there, like, that's not what Bookstagram is for. It's to find the books that you like. It's to find the people that like the books that you like so you could talk about the fun books that you
Oh,
like.
absolutely. 100%. I mean, all you girls that I have met in the last year and a half, um, it's been absolutely wonderful. Like, I've known Chelsea, it was a year in December.
Mhm.
And I've known Anem, it was a year last November. And
Wow.
I actually met Chelsea off of one of Anem's posts. That's
Yeah.
how we met. And then I met you last year, and it was just, last spring I met you, like it was April or May we met.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's been so wonderful finding my people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I made our little group, and we have, like, there's 20 of us in our little group, and we talk well, at least half of
Yeah.
us talk every single day in there. And we all, even though we may like different things, we're
We
not all in
do.
each other's
Mhm.
wheelhouse. We have a similarity. We have a
Right.
crossovers and stuff, we we all get along, and
Yeah.
we all talk, and it's so nice to
Yeah.
find your people. And we don't have
Yes.
any crab apples.
No. And we're all supportive of what you wanna read or like, dislike, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'll be like, I really didn't like this popular book." And someone's like, "Oh, I love this scene." I'm like, "Yeah, it's okay, but I've read better." And that's okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not for
We
me.
don't we don't clutch pearls, and we don't yuck each other's yum.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we all get along so
Yeah.
well.
And there's so many people like that, like there are people that like what you like if you haven't found that on
Yes.
Bookstagram yet. You just need to put yourself out there a little more. I found a
Yeah.
lot of friends through like ARC, the advanced reader copy
Mhm.
teams, like when indie authors put teams together, like those are your people to get to know because you guys are all reading a book that is something you came together and
Yes.
said, I like this kind of vibe. So you're all a group of people that liked this vibe of a book. Talk about it, get to know people, see if you read the same genres, and then you'll start seeing each other on art teams as you keep, going on to different street teams, art teams, things like that on
Oh, yeah.
Bookstagram. That's how I
Comment
found my people.
Oh, and comment on, like, say you know a particular book you like. Say you get, especially ACOTAR. If you love ACOTAR, get on posts that talk with ACOTAR. Look at the people who are commenting. Write things, and you will find such a community,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But back to, like, what we were saying about our spice scale, though. This is the thing.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
People but I mean, it all ties together.
Yeah.
Um, you know, eh, why does everyone act like the spice scales are universal, but they truly aren't?
Yeah.
We have Because what I feel with my spice scale, I think it's similar to your spice scale, but I mean, do you think you and I, because we vibe together, do you think our spice skills are similar?
Yes and no. Um, just because sometimes when you'll rate like a Melissa book, like the Legacies book, and
Hmm.
you're like, this was, I don't know, you were like four spice.
Well,
And I was
in the
like,
last book, I put it that.
that I would say yes.
Yes.
Because
The other
there's
ones
like,
I put as a 3.
yeah, I would say that. Okay. Um, or even
My
like
4.
two in the beginning, I would say, just because there wasn't like a lot
We'll
of
see.
it, I
Well,
guess.
see, I guess for mine isn't
Yeah, go.
the amount of spice that's
Mm-hmm.
in a book.
Okay.
Because I guess maybe some people, they base their peppers based on how much is
See,
happening in a book.
sometimes
I
I
don't
do.
do that.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't do it. Mine is based on the hotness of the scenes
Okay.
that happen.
Okay.
So, like in the first book, like in my opinion, in the Legacy, the first 3 books, those are kind of like 3 pepper hot spicy moments for me. That's where my beginning of my spice starts. I don't read anything that are 2 peppers.
Okay.
I
So what
consider
is
3
two
peppers
peppers
on.
to you?
2 peppers is well, one is like is closed door, which will never happen in my world.
Okay.
2 is if it's just like a little bit of romance, like he's kissing her or something. Mine is 3
Okay.
is when the door is open. The door is open and we're seeing everything that's happening. And then it just depends on what kind of action is happening in that
Yeah.
open door.
Yeah.
So mine is like, because it could be just like sweet love making, and that could
Yeah.
be 3. 4 is more if it's a lot more frequent happening, or a lot more like in at the end on, if you read Legacy, the
Mm-hmm.
4th book, there's a lot more hotness happening
Yeah.
because can't tell people, but there's some really good
Groups.
scenes. And then there's some
Yeah.
interesting moments happening with 2, but you will see if you read them.
Yeah. It's
Now,
a
I
white
consider
choose.
that 4.
It's a white
Like,
choose.
and then,
If you don't know what that means, I don't want to spoil the movie.
and then,
We'll go over
Blood
this.
and Steel, like, the Legends of Thesmar, I consider that a 4 book or a 4 chili pepper
Okay.
because it's a lot of frequent hot and heavy
I could see that.
hotness.
See, and
That's 4 for me. Now
that's
5,
fine. I rated it as 3 because my
yeah,
scale's just a little different. Like to
because you're
me,
looking at it
a
different. I guess it's our
4,
perspectives.
yeah. So like
Yeah,
1 to me is like detailed like makeout sessions. You might have like some grinding,
so
like
that would be a 2 for
fewing.
me.
Yeah. So 2 for me is like normal, like one scene, let's say, they finally get together and there's like
Yeah,
some details to it.
yeah,
3 is like big details, like
yeah,
very like hot, heavy, action packed. Sometimes it's menage a trois stuff, like
yeah,
like groups of people together. But to me, like that's more 4. So 4 to me is like you get your like 2 males and a female. You get your um what are like the orgies happening. You
yeah,
get a lot of spice. Like this last book I read, there was like at least like 5 scenes and they were very detailed and very different. So
yeah.
also like those ones where you're like, oh, this is a twist
Well,
to your vanilla kind of spice. That's a
what
4
do you
for me.
consider? What do you
What do I
consider
consider 5? The
5?
taboo stuff.
Taboo. Now, I'm going to be reading The Feathers So Vicious,
Okay.
and that's the Raven Shifter ones. And just from my knowledge of what's going on in it, I consider that probably will lean from 4 into 5, depending.
Yeah.
But also now The Kiss of the Basilisk,
See, that would be a
would be a
5.
5.
Yeah.
That would be a 5 for me.
And I
But
haven't
see,
read that, but I know what happens with the
I know
spicy
the
stuff.
different things that happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
But see,
that would be like very up there, like, whoa. A lot of people don't, like
yeah.
that kind of spice. It's very different, odd, not odd, but like just not your
Well, now, and
vanilla
also
stuff.
like the books that I read are always, it's a balance of our spicy stuff, our smut, you want to
Hmm.
put it, and plot.
Yes,
Now,
I like that.
if I was reading that it was 90% smut and 10% plot, those in my mind, I would always be considering them like 5 chili pepper all the time because of what
Yeah.
they are.
Okay.
But all the books I read, I don't consider. There's always a plot. It's not just they're just not all humping over in
Yes.
the corner. You know what I'm
And
saying?
and
Um,
I think we've talked about this before. Like spice can be spice. And I've read books like
yeah,
that where it's just like,
yeah.
okay, here we go again. Like nothing to it. It's just like you're just
Well, I
describing
mean, there's
porn to me,
vanilla.
really.
Well, if there's like a
um
vanilla sex in it, it's just like, something like it's just like a sweet love making, very vanilla.
mhm.
You know, it just to me that would be it could be a 2 or a 3, because
Okay.
if it's just but if it's a lot of times if it's very vanilla like that, that would be that there's not a lot of description. I
Mhm.
guess my peppers are going by description and how much I'm visualizing in
Yeah.
my
Whereas
mind.
I'm going through like
I don't know.
action and I'm like, that
But
wasn't
but you don't
enough.
have but you don't have a pepper though that's closed door.
So I would
Do
just
you
say no
consider
spice. I would say no
no
spice.
spice?
Yeah, I
See,
would
I
say fade to
consider this.
black. Fade to black is a term people use where it's like
Yeah.
it's happening behind the door. And it like fade like they write it so it's kind of
See,
your own imagination.
that would
Or
be my
closed
one
door.
pepper.
So yeah, I would say I would give it a green pepper. And
Yeah.
say fade to black or no spice. And just like not put a spice scale on my rating for
Mhm.
Instagram. I say no spice on there.
See, I would just for me, that would be I consider that like a 1 chili pepper because 1 chili pepper wouldn't be very hot at all
Yeah.
to
Now,
me.
if there's like
So,
nudity,
that.
like I read a novella where they were like nude in bed, there wasn't like a
Yeah,
lot of sexual things happening,
descriptors.
but they were
Yeah,
like touching and describing her breasts and, getting hot and stuff like that. But there was no like
yeah,
action. So I was like,
yeah,
that's a pepper. That's one
yeah.
because you have to know that there is some sexual deviations in this book.
Well, see well, see, this shows just with just you and I,
Yeah.
how we look at things differently than each other.
Yeah.
Um but that's why like when I'm taking and I'm looking at a book and I look and see what other people are saying. I don't necessarily judge their peppers
No.
100%. Now
Yeah.
if they have a green pepper, I know it's not for me at all.
Okay.
Because anybody that puts any of that with it, I already
Yeah.
know that definitely isn't.
Yeah.
And that now, if they have 1 pepper, 2 peppers, because it depends on what
Rate
people's
that.
perceptions
Yeah.
of things, I will look into what they're saying, what
Yes.
their concept is. I don't judge it and be like, oh, I only see 2 peppers.
Yeah.
That's not like mine. I'm not going to read it because I know how I perceive things. I look into it more. But if it's a green pepper, absolutely not. I know that's considered like a 1 pepper for me, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not gonna like it,
Yeah.
and
It's
it's
very
not for me
interesting
because
how
I
how
need
everyone rates.
description.
Yeah. Um, Same.
D-
Like, tell me, I do like when people review like how many spicy scenes there are, and they'll tell you like the pages and stuff. I don't have time to review stuff like that, but
yeah.
I think that's like if you are a person that's not looking for spice and want to read like Fourth Wing or something, and you want to skip. I think that's great. Like you should skip those scenes, but you want to read the fancy, book that everyone's talking about. Do it.
So I guess just talking here, I've determined that my low end of my scale would be your 2 pepper to my 3 pepper,
Yeah.
where my 2 and 3 pepper are the same
Yeah.
in essence. It's just how I see it differently and you see it a little differently. But we
Yeah.
do say 5 peppers though is the same though for
Yeah.
you and for
It's like
me.
taboo stuff or like some real kinky stuff like
Hmm.
like dominatrix kind of
That kind of thing.
bondage maybe,
Yeah.
like things like that are a little more taboo, not your vanilla stuff. And maybe not even like taboo, maybe that's the wrong word, but it's
Maybe not conventional of what everybody
it's not
thinks
your
or whatever.
vanilla things,
Yeah.
okay?
Now, and then like my 4, like I said, 4 is, and it's not necessarily that it's a more like it there's more it's like the amount that's happening.
Yeah.
Because you go into, because like I said, like with the Legacy series, to me, I gave them 3 because again, they like you, there's not
There's
a ton
yeah.
in amongst them, but you get to book 4, there is some woo-hoo, wonderful
Yeah.
stuff. And
And more
but for
frequent.
me,
Yeah.
it's because of the frequency. That's why I gave it 4.
Okay. See, I gave it because of their relationship
Mm.
and how they take it in the bed.
Oh yeah, but
That
you
to
know,
me is more
Legends of,
spicy than like your normal, like, oh, I'm gonna go down on you and then penetrate you.
well, it's just like Legends of Thesmar. I mean, because that is some frequent hot and heavy stuff happens in it, and I gave that
Yeah.
4 peppers through it
Okay.
because of the frequency
Yeah.
of the hotness.
Hmm.
But like I said, anybody who reads anything that I suggest or anything like that, know that there's stuff happening. It might not be a horrendous amount or a ton of it or whatever how you want to put it. There are moments that these things will happen because in some books the slow burn burns for a long time before you
Yeah.
get to those moments. But there will be a payoff in
Yeah.
everything that I read.
That
I
Rebecca
do
race.
not. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you won't be getting any green bell peppers from me.
Yeah. No. Mm-mm.
No. Okay, well, so now that's how we perceive spice. Well, I'm going to ask everybody that's out there, everybody that's listening, what for you, since you see what I consider a 3 chili pepper moment, and you see what Heather considers as a 3 chili pepper, write us, DM us on our Instagram at 2girls1tbr. What we want to know, what is your feral spice scale?
Yeah.
What do you consider 3 chili peppers, 4 chili peppers? Let us know.
Yeah.
I want to see what the consensus of
Yeah. And
opinion
does
is
it
out
stay
there.
consistent? Because I feel like mine can vary, right? Like some half points maybe here and there.
I do
Who
see that. I
knows?
never do a half point either.
Yeah.
That's something. Mine are always solid.
I try to stick with the solid just because it's easier to rate that way. But I mean, I feel like it's a vibe, right? Like
Yeah, I agree.
it's not
Everybody's is a little different.
yeah, everything's different how you
Okay,
perceive it.
since that's what we say in our spice world. Now, how
Yes.
do you go about rating a book?
Oh, this is hard for me.
Now, 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 for me, uh, if it's 1 star, that means I did not like it, and I probably DNF'd it, that kind of thing. Okay. 5 star is that was life altering. I would recommend it until the cows come home. That is my scale between
Yeah.
1 star to 5 star, and then you have everything in between. Um, like a 2 star, that even is a possibility that I wouldn't finish it either. 1 star, I know I would DNF. I
Yeah.
would be done. Didn't like it.
I don't think I've
2
ever
star,
rated a
I
1
would quit.
star. If I don't finish a book, like if I'm not vibing, I will just not rate it. I will go on to Goodreads if
Yeah.
I have to leave a review, let's say, or I don't know, like why justify? Like if you didn't like it, you didn't like it. You don't have to justify your reasons for stopping a book at all. But some people, um, you get free books for a review. So if I had to, I would go on there and describe why I personally did not vibe with this book and needed to stop. Sometimes it's um things that I didn't know would be a trigger warning for me. So that's another thing. Like I don't read trigger warnings. Like I didn't grow up with trigger warnings when I first
Yeah.
started reading, so I don't really read them. Because they could all again be perceived differently from person to person. But there's some stuff where I'm like, no, that's not a trigger for me, but it's written differently in this book. And I was like, you know what? Like this has a death of a child. I have very young kids at home. I went through postpartum stuff. And I was just like, like I can't get
Yeah.
into this book. And I DNF'd one of the books and I didn't rate it. I was like, I'm not going to finish that. I don't think I'll come back to that one. Maybe later down the road. That's another thing. Is like, what if you come back to it and you rate it at a 2 star and then you finish it? You're like, wow, that was actually really good. And
Now,
now it's a 5 star.
I how should I put this? Like once I DNF something, I will not probably
You're
ever go back
just
to it.
yeah.
I have Zodiac Academy. I have book 1
Uh-huh.
sitting on my bookshelf. I have it there. I got 8 chapters in, and then I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I'm like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
Um, do I think I'll ever go back to it? I am going to say probably not. And now this is me. Now some people eh, they will DNF a book from a particular author. And then they will go on and read other books that
Yeah.
that particular author has read. Me, I don't like how they write. So I don't think necessarily I would probably read anything that they wrote.
Yeah.
But that's me though. That's me. Some people it doesn't bother them, but for me, it was how the books were written, and I don't like their
Okay.
writing style.
Yeah. So, I mean, people DNF stuff all the time for various reasons, whether it's a trigger warning or it's
Hmm.
the way it's written, maybe the dialogue doesn't get you, you don't vibe, you don't
Hmm.
get
Absolutely.
absorbed, whatever it is. I'm like, yeah, don't read it if you don't like it. Um,
Well, let me ask you
I
this.
just wonder, like, the rating system on DNF. That's all. Like, what other people are doing would be interesting to know, because I know
Hmm.
everyone on Bookstagram has their own, like, rating systems, like, they'll put them up
Yes.
on their profiles and stuff, and some people will be like, "Yeah, 1 star is a DNF," but you didn't finish the book. Like, was that bad? Like, we're just gonna write it off. I don't know. I'm not that person. Sorry.
Now, well, let me ask you, is there like what, like if you've been reading a book, because a lot of our books that we read are into the darker end of things, and they have like their trigger pages.
Mhm.
Is there what would be a trigger warning in a book if you picked it up and you opened it and you see it in there? What is a trigger warning that would make you stop reading it?
Usually not a lot.
Because
I'm a
I
very
don't
open
think there's,
person. I'm
yeah,
accepting of a lot of things. So I find differences like that entertaining in a way of, like, learning and
yeah.
yeah, just the concepts of it. But I
I
haven't
don't
really found
know.
anything yet. I mean, like, I like the death of the child thing in that one book, and I just
Yeah,
couldn't kind of get over the, like, they kind of perseverated on it a lot, like, just constantly kept bringing it up, and it was like the plot of the book was, like, how this kid died, and it was not nice, and it just made me a little
I don't.
squeamish, and I was kinda like, "You know what? I wanna go read my fantasy book," and that's why I DNF'd it.
Now, see, that probably wouldn't be even a book that would be in my wheelhouse that I would probably even pick up.
Not a lot of things trigger me, it really doesn't. I think too, being a mood reader, it does a lot, um so, I don't know, I feel like I'm not, like, a consistent book reviewer. Like, people probably shouldn't always go with, what I say is good or not, maybe. I'm, like,
I don't, I
overthinking this now, but
now
I
everything I do, everything I review. But I mean, if you're in my wheelhouse, you will like what I review and what I say. But if spicy romantasy, dark romance, dark fantasy are
Right.
not your
Which come with
interest,
trigger warnings, so just
which
know your
I think
stuff if that
I think
bothers
every
you.
one of mine, yeah, every one of mine I think has come with a trigger warning,
Oh, yeah.
especially
Well,
Carrie
nowadays they
Lake's
do.
books.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't remember that years ago when
No.
we would read. I don't remember that. Do you?
No, there was no such thing as trigger warnings. You would just read the book and that was that. And if it bothered you, you'd say it, okay, that was not my favorite thing to read.
Yeah,
And not review it. Like, not put down like a verbal review, because that's not what I did. But um
I guess.
yeah.
I guess because yeah, back then I don't remember reading a book and seeing that, but I guess it's only been in recent years that people have gotten that kind of thing,
Yeah.
or
Those are
they've
new
that's a new
to
thing. But that's
me.
good though
It is
that they
good.
have that
For
because
people
then it
that are
really
more
helps you.
sensitive, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, this isn't gonna work for me. So
Uh, Now, do you feel that you are a mood reader when it comes to your star rating and stuff like that?
say a nude reader? Like, do I read in the
No,
nude?
mood, mood,
Mood. Oh my gosh, I heard
mood
nude.
reader.
We're talking spice here. Mood, yes. I am. I didn't also know that I was a mood reader until I became a bookstagrammer and I figured out what mood reading is. So mood reading is like you can have a TBR and you can say, "Oh, I want to read these books." And then you go, I don't really feel like reading that one next. I need to read this one. Or like, oh, that's the new one coming out. I'm going to skip all my TBR and go read that one because that has been on my brain. And so, like,
Yeah,
if that's my vibes, I feel like, okay, I need to start this book. Like, that's the book I'm going to start. So TBRs are really hard for me. They used to not be a thing for me. I used to just kind of know what I was
yeah,
going to read or didn't have a TBR. Like, I think before I started Bookstagram, my TBR was like 11 books because it was just like, oh, that looks interesting. That looks interesting. I have a few on my shelf I should probably read because they've been there forever. And like now I'm like, ooh, there's so many books that look delicious. And
well,
it's
I
whatever I
have
vibe.
300. I've told you I have 300 and some
Yeah.
books are on my TBR list.
Yeah.
You know, I have right now on my physical bookshelf here, the books that I own. I have, I believe, 120 something or 130
Wow.
books is what I have on there. And then I have read, I think that I'm going to say 40 some of that. So I have a lot on my physical TBR. Now I'm trying to finish Crescent City, and that's where I'm on the fence right now. I don't know what is going to be next.
Yeah.
I have to wait till I'm done and I come down from Crescent City
Hmm.
because it's you know what I'm
It's
saying? You
such
have
a
to come
world.
down.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
And
you've
so
been
then
with
I
these
have to
characters for
decide what I
3
want.
books, big books, like,
Oh
that's
yeah,
weeks
cuz
worth of you just, like, reading these one characters in
oh
this
yeah.
world. It's hard to go from that into, like, another
Mhm.
big series like that.
Well, you look at Crescent City. This is over 800 and some pages.
Yeah.
A lot of like books that people read, a lot of like romance books, or even in our genre too. They're smaller. They're so that's kind of like Crescent City. This year is like 3 books in
Mhm.
some people's
For, like,
worlds.
a
Uh,
contemporary romance, yeah.
yes. So I mean, so in essence, even though I only read 3 books, it's almost like I'm reading like 6 to 9 contemporary
Yeah.
size books. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to decide, do I want to go into another series? Because I
Mhm.
do have completed series on my bookshelf. Or do I want to go? I do have a few that are standalone. I don't read a lot of standalones. I am a very
Me
much
too.
a series person.
I am a sucker for a series because I want to live that world that I've been in
And be in it
longer.
as long as you can be. Yes.
Yes.
So I don't know. So I'm kind of on the fence at the moment.
Yeah.
I have so many
So what I do,
amazing opportunities and chances here to see what I'm going to read.
yeah. And so what I found that I have recently been doing is if there's a book series that has like you haven't read Slaying the Vampire Conqueror
Nope,
and
I have them up
like
there.
the Nyaxia stuff is like
Yep.
the duology, another one is out. So like I would go into a world that I already know like that. So
Hmm.
that would be my next read probably if I were you because I already know that world. It would be me like revisiting it. I wouldn't have to like create a world in my head again. Like I already know the magic system. So it'd be easy to pick up, get
It's
back in there.
possible.
So that's what I do. Or I palette cleanse with, like a cozy romantasy. I have a
Well,
few fun
well, this
ones
one
if
here,
you
well,
want.
you're with the Fae basically, and and their shifters and stuff like that. I mean, I could go into that. That would be if I went into Crowns and Axis there. That would be vampires.
Yeah,
So that would be different.
right?
I could go into I'm trying to think. I do have the Sacred Stone trilogy, and that I believe his dragon shifters are in there.
Okay.
That's kind of different. I could also have Bloody Black. That is a pirate one.
Yeah.
And I haven't done any, and I also have the Eversea series. That's
Mm.
pirates and stuff. And then but I have several of them from Carrie Lake,
Mm.
but they're dark
But
romance and
hers aren't
stuff. And I'm
always
just like,
series, so
well, no,
then
I have two standalones of Carrie
yeah.
Lakes.
So that might be good
So
too.
I don't see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I do have the rest of the Witch Collector series too, because I
Mm.
read the Witch Collector and then I've had other ones come out and I started reading, and I haven't
Yeah.
finished
People
that
that
world
wait
yet either.
for a series to be completed, I used to be that person until Bookstagram because I wanted
Mm,
to stay in the world, right? Like a sucker for a
yes.
series, wanted that world, wanted to like absorb, become that personality, like that person
Yeah.
in this world. And ever since Bookstagram and getting arcs and kind of like following as the releases come out, it's ruined that for me. So like I have had to revamp the way I
Yeah.
think into like getting back into worlds and stuff again. So it's hard. It's hard to stay with
Well,
the popular books and like wanting to read what people are talking
well,
about.
let me ask you this. Do you think, because do you typically read people's reviews
No.
before you pick up another book? Do you think the
Kind of.
Bookstagram reviews are kinder than when you go onto
Oh
Goodreads?
yeah.
I'll read some of theirs. They are very like very
Uh-huh.
cutthroat on
Yeah.
their reviews, and I don't always necessarily agree with the Goodreads reviews of what people say.
Yeah.
I'm not saying now if
I
it's a
agree.
book that we both are vibing with, yes, but it seems like on Bookstagram they don't seem to be as, I don't want to use the word vile. I don't want to use that, but people seem to be much more, I don't,
Positive. I'm
maybe
more
they're more
positive
positive.
with my Instagram.
Yeah,
I used to be very like, this is what I thought. Um,
yeah.
and then I was like, you know what? If you want to read all of the things, I'll put it all on my Goodreads. And like I even
Mhm.
say that on my thing. Like these are the highlights of what I liked, why I started this way. And that's that. And if you want to read my full review, it's on Goodreads. I stopped doing a full review on Instagram. No one reads them half the time. So I was like wasting a lot of my time, I feel like. But also, people want to know highlights. Like you're scrolling, what's going to stop me to look at this book and go, that's interesting. And then go look into it some more on like what other people are saying. So that's where I've changed my view on reviews. And I am a little more, um, I'm not harsh on there, but I do say more of like what I liked and did not like too. I won't say
Now,
what I did not like always, not always on Instagram.
now, what I review on my Instagram and what I put on Goodreads, they mirror each other.
Yeah,
I
I used to
don't,
do that.
but I don't ever go into, because everything I've read, again, a curated list. So everything that's on mine, I've loved, and I will recommend every single book that I have read
Yeah.
since I got back into this world. I would recommend every single one of those books to you because I love them.
Hmm.
Because I'm not, again, I don't do arcs. I don't do the ones,
Yeah.
and I know what I'm getting into before I read them. Besides Zodiac Academy, um, even that, I thought just from people's reviews, I was going
It
to love
sounds
it
great.
because of
I still have
but I
not
just,
because it sounds young to me, and I have
yeah,
learned that I don't have to read young fantasy anymore.
yeah.
So I've stayed away from like the younger 16-year-old fantasy books now.
Well, technically they're the characters are in quote high, they are graduated, and this is kind of like almost like a, I don't want to call it college, but it's a step up from high school, but it's not college. It's kind of like a finishing school, we'll
Oh,
call it,
okay.
the world they go into. But it's just a lot of things in it. The bully romance I didn't like.
Yeah.
I didn't like the cliche kind of things they were saying in it. So instead of it being Facebook, it was their own weird
Mm,
version of it. Um, and then I didn't like the tandem writing because one
okay.
sister writes one sister and one sister writes the
Oh,
other
see, I didn't know
one.
this about
And so,
that.
and then it goes back and forth with the chapter. And again, I don't like how they
Hmm.
write. And I don't like the type of tropes they do, which is more on the nose kind of thing. like the professor that was the fire professor, her name was Professor Pyro.
Mhm.
It was just too much on the nose
Yeah.
kind of thing, and I didn't like that.
Okay.
But that's me. But I think the thing that I've learned from all of this, learning, with my rating system, seeing what other people's rating system, a book can be very well written, but still not hit for you.
Oh, yeah.
So that is what I guess overall, through my rating system, with everybody's rating system, with your rating system, that's what I have learned from this
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, and there are still people too that I know we like the same books. We vibe on the
Hmm.
same tropes, the
Yes.
same vibes, whatever it is. And there's still stuff where they'll be like, I really enjoyed this. And I will try it out and I'll be like, that was not for me. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm
Yeah.
going to ex-nay them forever in my life. It's just that was one book that we didn't agree on.
Now now the Twisted Sisters now have wrote a tremendous amount of books. They have Zodiac Academy, they have the Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac,
Oh,
which,
I've heard of them.
plays into,
Mhm.
but you have to, like, you read the first 3 books of Zodiac Academy, if I remember correctly, then they suggest you read the 5-book Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, and
Yeah.
then you continue because it's a
It's a
long Zodiac
lot.
Academy, it's big, and
Yeah.
they're
Are
big. So
they?
I think some of the books are like 1,000 page towards the end. And then there's another series they do that's tied in that world, that's something with a prison. I don't remember what it is.
Mhm.
And then they have another series that just came out. I think it was last year. It was Never Keep, and it's still in that same world. And there's, I think, 2 or 3 books in that series out. And then they had another book come out recently. It was called Hollow.
Mm.
And like, people have liked it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to actually like read like just a sample of it to see if I would like it. But
You
again, like I
know
said, it's their writing. Unless their writing has evolved
yeah.
from there and they've changed
Yeah.
how they
Right,
write.
because they had
Um,
Zodiac, and then, like you were saying, like, they have branched
oh, and
out
they
to,
also have
like,
a
these
yeah,
other
they have a
not category,
vampire
but, like
series too.
yeah. So, maybe this one wasn't for you, but this one is. So,
I mean, maybe someday I'll sample one of
yeah.
their later series. Maybe it'll
Mhm.
be
Oh my gosh.
something that I'll like.
Talk about mood reading. So this is what I've done a few times.
Okay.
Whereas like I have, let's say, 3 or 4 different books that I'm like, oh, I really want to start all of these, but like you have to pick one. I will start a book and put it down and start the other one and like get a few chapters in, put that one down, start another book. And I'll have like 4 different books that I start. And whatever one's vibing with me, I'll go with it.
Oh
And then
wow.
I'll like go
See, I
back
never
and be
do that.
like, oh, you know what? I want to know more about this one. And sometimes when I'm reading a book, like I have to have 2 different books sometimes because these long books, if I feel like I'm too in the world, and I'm just kind of like tired of reading about their adventure, I have ADHD. So I'll be like,
Yeah.
all right, these people, I need a break from them. And I'll have a different book with like different kinds of characters, and I will go into that book for a little while. I am very moody like that when it comes to
Hmm.
stuff. So,
Now,
talking about your
see, I
zodiac
do not.
stuff, like, who knows? Like, you could
See,
start
you might like it.
a little snippet and you might like it. And then if, you want to start another book and see which one vibes.
So obviously, it doesn't disturb you if you're reading a series and you read something in between.
Not anymore.
I
Before,
use
I used to
well,
be very like, this is the series I am start to finish because like I would look for completed series
yeah,
for that reason. And I would buy them all. I was that person that would buy them all before I knew that was a thing people talk about on Bookstagram.
yeah.
But I mean, I was like, okay, this is being talked about. People like this. I'm going to grab it. It's completed and I'm going to read it. That's what I did with Akatar. Like, I was just like, you know what? All 5 books. I'm going to buy this on my Kindle. And I really loved it. So I was like, good thing I liked it because I have all their books. So that's what happened. Like, I think I got like a Tog Akatar bundle or something like that. Oh, no, it was on sale. So
Now,
yeah. And then in between that, I think I went right from Akatar, right into Tog, right into Crescent City before I knew about other things. And then as I was learning there are more books like this, I kept going, ooh, I kind of want to start that one. Now I want to start this one. So I've branched away from that.
Now, I myself, now if I start a series, now I'm not saying this in like a in an incomplete series way, but I will read all of the books in that series to that point. I I myself, I don't like to venture into another series and then come back to it.
Okay.
Now I did that though with the Legends of Thesmar. I was reading the Legends of Thesmar, and then Enchantra came out.
Mm,
I had to read Enchantra, so I finished, but I didn't stop what I was doing. I waited and finished what I was reading, and then I went into Enchantra. Then I went back into the Legends of Thesmar
yeah.
and finished it.
Yeah.
I do that. I don't like I can't read multiple books at the same time. I
Yeah.
can't start like I couldn't start like Psycho Shifters and go to Daughter of No Worlds and
Mm,
then read Lady of Darkness and have all three of them going. I in my with my
yeah.
mind, I would get confused with who was who
Yeah. With Lady
and
of
all that stuff.
Darkness,
I
it was
like
completed
yeah.
and I got all the audiobooks for it. And I did. I pretty much did those like all together. And then there were, I think, a couple like arcs or something in between there because I was listening. So I had like one I was listening and one I was reading, like physical. So
Yes.
I can do that. I know some people are like, no, I have to be one book at a time. Is that
Yes,
you? You're one book.
that is me. I'm one book at a
Yeah,
time. I will not have if I'm telling you I'm reading Crescent City, that's
that's
what
it.
I'm reading.
Yeah.
That's it. There won't be anything. And of course, I don't do audio. I like maybe if I did audiobooks, maybe I would, but still, I still think I would be no matter what. I
Just
have the one brain focus.
yeah.
I like just one. Um, but now that's that. So we have our star rating. We've talked about our spicy rating. But now the other thing that we've learned, because you and I we've been doing it all this episode, is that Bookstagram has its own language.
Mhm.
There are all kinds of abbreviations that I had no idea existed. I had to learn. Like I would be looking at people's posts and they had all these abbreviations, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean? And I was like, I tried to pretend like I knew what they were talking about at first, but but then I had to actually go online and I had to
Oh
search
yeah.
I'm like,
And
what does
people
this
do
mean?
have like posts um
Yes.
on abbreviations or their own like little blogs online and stuff that you can look these things up. So yeah,
I
it's
I
funner
think
when you know
Well,
and
I
can
think with
use
our
them.
newsletter, the newsletter that's going to go out with this episode on there, I think I'll put a list of common terms.
Yeah.
So if you don't know or you're new to this world, that'll be in on our newsletter so that that can help you. I didn't know what an ARC was. I
No.
was like, what is ARC? I'm like, what
Yeah.
are these people talking about?
And
That's
beta
advanced
reading.
reader copy.
Yeah, advanced reader copies are what they send out after they have been
Yep.
beta read, and beta read is like it's it's put
It's like a
together.
test.
Yeah, it's like put together, and then they have like a small group of people to tell them like what is working and what is not working.
Yeah.
And like where to add more information, like, hey, I'm confused here. Hey, this, just didn't really
Flow right.
connect. Yeah, it doesn't flow.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. It's not typos or proofreading. That's kind of more of like what the editors do.
Yes.
Um, and then
See, and this is where I don't understand now. All this stuff is happening with Kelly Hart's Brimstone.
oh
It went
yeah,
through all these steps,
yeah,
and yet through editing, there's one or two chapters
where
in
people didn't pick
Brimstone,
that up.
and
Yeah,
they didn't pick it up, and there's a couple inconsistencies, we'll call it.
yeah,
And it went through all that, and people didn't get it. Um,
yeah,
but it's interesting. But that again, those are things I didn't know. I didn't like we talked about DNF did not read or did not finish.
yeah.
Uh TBR because that's part of our podcasting. TBR
Yes.
is to be read.
Mm-hmm.
Morally gray. That's another
That
term that a lot I didn't know.
yeah. Yeah.
It means they're not all good, but
Yeah.
they're not all
They're not
bad
villains,
either.
but they're not good guys. They're not the
No,
heroes. Prince
no. Like
Charmings. Yeah.
Slade Ravenger, he's very morally gray, but he is a villain in
Yeah.
many ways, but yet he has these redeeming property,
True.
whatever you want to say about him,
Yeah.
uh, because he is so wonderful to her. Um, but I love morally gray
Yes.
MMCs. MMC is another one. That's main male character.
Mhm.
And then there's FMC, which is your female main character.
Correct.
Again, started this world, saw people writing this,
Yeah.
no idea what any of this meant. And then that even gets us into uh that plays into the tropes and stuff because again, those are terms we didn't understand.
Yeah.
Again, enemies to lovers, toucher and you unalive.
Uh-huh.
Um what is the other ones? Found family.
Right.
I'm trying to think
Magic
forced
systems.
force
Force
proximity.
proximity. What is force
Oh,
proximity? And I was
they're
like,
that
what is this? So
oh yeah, but I
it's
understand now that I read Legends of Thesmar. That
yeah.
is definitely forced proximity and enemies to lovers and morally gray.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
so if you love those
found
things,
family. So
oh,
yeah.
absolutely, that's another one. I mean, but there's so much that we have learned
Yeah.
in this short period of time that we've been doing this. You would have asked me 2 years ago or whatever, I would have just looked at you like, I have
Yeah.
no idea what you're talking about. But so if you're new to this world, I know it might seem overwhelming at first because you don't know these things, but but I mean, you will learn them and you will learn them quickly
Yeah.
if you take the time just to
Yeah.
just look up a list.
And
But like I
people
said, with
have
our
posts
newsletter, I will.
and they talk about that stuff all the time. Um, I know a lot of people to get really weird about reviewing and they get not tongue tied, but like down about like they don't know what is correct, right? Or
Mm,
what's too harsh, what's correct, what kind of opinion do I have? And I think that comes with like practice and just like what
yeah.
you want people to know. I mean, it's your opinion and that's a review. Go for
Now,
it. Just try it
when you're
out.
giving when you're giving a review and it's like, it knocked your socks off, it knocked it out of the park. Uh, I think those reviews, I don't see any reason why you can't tag the author when you're
Right.
telling them their book is knocked it out of the park.
Yes.
But now, if you're doing a review and it is not being kind to the book because you didn't like it or you didn't like their writing style, uh, I don't think it's very nice to tag the
I
author
agree.
in that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, someone that put their blood, sweat, and tears into a book and they love it, and there's other people, again, you don't yuck other people's yums,
Mhm.
and you don't want them to see that kind of thing. But I myself personally, if I didn't like a book, I don't think I would put it out there or put it I might say it's not for me that
Yeah.
I DNF'd it, but I wouldn't do a whole review
I don't
and say, well,
post
this book was written poorly. This
yeah.
is a horrible book. I wouldn't
Yeah.
do that
I don't
because let people decide for themselves on
yeah.
that one.
I really don't like to post anything negative on
Yeah.
Instagram. Um, which, people will be like, well, then that's not a real review, right? Like that's not, I don't know. People can get really sassy about that stuff. But to me,
Mhm.
I want my page to be a positive place. Like if you come to my page and you see a 3 or 4 star read, and I don't tag authors in those because what I think is a still glowing review at 3 or 4 stars
Mhm.
might come across differently in writing when someone reads it. Or sometimes I'll put like a little snippet like, oh, I didn't like the repetitive verbiage or something like that. And that could like upset an author. So I just don't
Yeah.
tag them unless it is like a glowing review, 5
Mhm.
stars, absolutely love, 100% recommend, which are a lot of mine because we have vetted what books we like. And
Yes.
and then I'll tag the authors. But some people feel like they have to tag authors in every review. It's like it doesn't have to be that way. And put what you
Oh,
want.
yeah.
Like just because I don't like putting the negative stuff on there doesn't mean that you can't. If you like
Well,
that
yes.
and you want people to come and see your page and see like the what you did not like, that's your page. And I think that's great. And I still read that stuff and I don't think like, "Oh, wow, how rude." No, that's your
But
opinion
now
on what you didn't like about the book. And I might even say like, "Yeah, I could see that. I understand."
now, like
But I'm
now,
not
like,
going to
I'm
drag
reading
that.
now that that I'm reading Crescent City 3. I've discovered there is a very, polarizing world towards that particular book and that series.
Yeah.
Um, and, like, I'll tell people I'm reading Crescent City 3, and they're like, "Oh, we didn't like that. We didn't like that."
Yeah.
It was like a group of people I was talking to, and they didn't like it and stuff like that, and they're like, "We don't even talk about it."
Oh,
I'm like, "Okay."
that bad. Okay.
Um, yeah, they didn't like it, and they weren't fans of ACOTAR, and then I'm like, "Well," but I mean, but I see other books they read, they do like things in the same wheelhouse, but they don't like that branch, I guess, of my wheelhouse.
Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of people
I
that
was
are
like,
not
"Okay."
ACOTAR people or have not read it.
Mhm.
And okay, like that's fine too. Like it's a popular book, but you haven't read like Fourth Wing, and we can
No.
still say, hey, that's a good book.
I
I
do
liked it.
plan on reading it. Now see, that's the one that I do have plans to read it. But see, now that one I have seen very
Yeah,
polarizing reviews of the series itself.
yeah,
People now majority of everybody I have seen has said Fourth Wing, very good. First book,
yeah,
amazing. Second book, I've seen people say it was very good. Third book, it seems like it gets murky in the water. But but I don't know.
yeah,
Is it that the person that doesn't like it, but do they read the same as me? I like to deep dive. You see what I'm doing with Crescent
yeah,
City, and I'm looking everything. I mean, I think maybe I would enjoy all the other people in book 3 to dig into more of the lore and all the stuff that's going on and seeing with all these other people.
yeah,
Maybe I would like it, but then there's still no plans yet, no date of anything going for book 4 of that. So
yeah,
that puts it in that
yeah. Like how
realm
much
of
time do you invest in that? But
yes,
yeah, I
because I have
agree.
so many other books to read.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, well, do I just want to just wait on that series? Wait till it, because it's going to be what, 5 books, right?
Yeah. I thought it was supposed to be 3, and then people were saying, "No, there's more." I was like, "Oh, crap," because she doesn't
So
have
it's
dates
going to
for
be
stuff.
five.
And then that's another thing is I think a lot of people are biased when it comes to release dates, right? Like even ACOTAR and stuff, like people
Hmm.
are getting like real bitter about release dates and they come after authors. Oh my gosh, poor Penn Cole went trad and her 4th book has supposed to come out for like years now.
Yes,
And people are like vicious and they'll come at her on in her DMs and they'll say like, you just keep, you know, trudging
that's very
along and
weird to
dragging your
me.
feet with this. I'm like, why do people feel like they have to voice those
But
nasty
I don't
thoughts? I
think,
don't know.
though, these people would necessarily, if she was standing there in front of them,
Yeah.
I do not think they would say that directly
Yeah.
to her face. A lot of people like to be keyboard warriors
Yeah.
in a lot of respects.
Yeah. But
Um,
I just,
you know,
don't be biased
it's
because you
weird.
don't have a release date for the next book. Then wait like you are, like you're waiting to
Yeah,
read it because you know that
yeah,
bothers you. Then don't hype
yes,
on the hype train and come on and then not hype the book because it's still a good book, but you're just bitter about the
yeah.
the the behind the scenes parts
That's
of it. You're not even enjoying the
that's
book
why
and the story.
that's why it's on my list. It is definitely it's on my TBR list. I'm like, I have all these other ones. I have a lot of series that are complete that I know I would enjoy and read
Yeah.
first. And then I will read it. Like I said, it's just I'm going to wait until I think at least wait till maybe book 4 comes out
Yeah.
and maybe it'll have a tentative date for book
Hopefully 5
5.
comes out sooner. Yeah.
Well, I know people were really mad when Crescent City 3 came out because they felt that ACOTAR 6 should have come out before it. Because there were
I
a lot of
think I
people that were
remember
mad
that.
about that.
Yeah. I remember
But
them saying stuff about that, but then I thought it was coming out after Crescent City 3, and it's been like 2 years now. So, um, I think we're just expecting a book, period. And then
I I think book 6 will be. I know everybody's like, oh, it wasn't in their catalog and all that stuff. I don't think that matters. I think ACOTAR 6 is kind of like will be its own surprise
yeah.
thing because they know in the publishing world, they know that there is such a fandom for it
Oh, yeah.
and such a community for it.
Yeah.
I think if they said all the books coming out in June of this year and had it in their catalog, I think people would have lost their mind. I think it's going to be it's going to be like a surprise. I think it's all about PR.
Oh, of
And I think
course.
it's going to be a surprise thing.
Yeah.
Because that was what in June, she did her popping
Yep.
champagne bottle and
Yeah.
showed that. No, but do you think that said 6 to 8, or do you think that was a 6 and an arrow?
I think it was
Oh, you think
looked like a penis to me.
that is very possible. Well, she did say that.
Uh,
She did say about Asriel. She said his wingspan's
yeah.
the biggest,
You know,
and that he's a freak. She said those were her words,
yeah.
Sarah's words.
With ACOTAR being the way it is, with book with Cassian and Nesta's story,
Yes,
to me, ACOTAR was completed when Reese and Farah were no longer, and it went into Cassian and Nessa. And the
because
next
it
book isn't going
transitioned
to
there.
be her book. So technically, like that is a completed series, and that is completed to the completion of the
Yeah,
last book.
their story's uh very complete,
Yeah.
and in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Even though things that happened in Silver Flames, with her having nicks and stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, she did have her things, but she was not the
She's not
main
main.
focus.
Mhm.
Nesta was the focus on it. And
Yeah.
again, a lot of people either they love Nesta or they
Mhm.
hate Nesta.
Yeah.
I love Nesta. I loved Cassian. I'm not saying that Nesta was the sweetest, most wonderful person, but she grew
She
and
grew on
her
me.
character
Yeah.
her character evolved
It
so
does.
much.
It does a really
She
good
went
job with that.
from a very she had a lot of traumatic
Yeah.
experiences.
And she was
Uh
toxic. She was polarizing. She was a
she's still not
villain in a
nice.
way.
Oh,
Um,
very much so.
yeah. And then
And
her character
and you
just
even
grows really well.
oh, and absolutely. And then you even see when you read Crescent City and you see that little blib of crossover that happens there.
Yeah.
You can see because that takes place 7 months after Aka War
Uh-huh.
in the timeline. Okay, so
Like a war
so
or a flame?
Aka. Oh, it'd be flames, silver
Yeah.
flames. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, silver flames. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Aka War. Silver flames. So that was 7 months after. So they are on the same timeline.
Yeah.
Even though they're different worlds, but they are in the same timeline in the universe.
Mhm.
So that happened and you can see even from Silver Flames to there, you see how much she evolves. To me, you
Yes.
could see her character is growing more.
Yeah.
She's becoming into her own right,
Yeah.
into her own her self-confidence,
Mhm.
knowing who she is. She's no longer trying to be this version of what her grandmother and her mother wanted her to be.
Yeah.
They were raising her to be this girl that was going to marry somebody wealthy, a prince or a lord or
Yeah.
somebody. That's how she was raised. And really, that's not Nesta. Nesta, I mean, she loves Cassian. She loves him. But I don't think she is the one to have a man stifle her
No.
or control
She's too
her. Because
independent. Yeah.
I'm not going to say that Feyre has Reese, he's that he stifles her in any way, but she does more of a balance with him. Nesta does whatever Nesta wants. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. Do you think Elaine's gonna surprise us in the next book, or do you think this is gonna be a continuation
Yeah,
of Nesta's story?
I think what we see on the outside of Lane, like from other people's perspective, is not what we're going to get in the book. I think we are going to get Elaine's point of view, and it's going to be like a lot of internal dialogue, probably. And probably one of those, like, she acts one way, but she's thinking and doing other things in the background kind of person.
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence with this next book. I don't know. Is this going to be Asriel's story and with, Gwen, with
Oh, yeah.
Elaine,
The triangle.
that kind of thing? Do I think it's going to be that? Or do I think that it's going to be a chance and opportunity for more? Because I would love to
Mhm.
have more story. Even though I love Elaine, I
Yeah,
love
but I
it and
feel like
all that, but
she's a side character through and through. I don't know.
I think she's going to be something much bigger.
Yeah.
I think there's a much bigger something on the horizon with her
Yeah.
because she was a very main side, even though she was a side character in in book 2, book 3, book 4 she started fading away, and in book 5 she was hardly even there
Yeah.
in book 5, and I think there's a reason for that. And I think she's going to come back like a storm of vengeance or something. There's something more happening
Yeah.
because
Well,
since I've
she's
read
got
Crescent
secrets.
City, I
She's
have my
got her
theories.
own stuff that people don't know about. So,
Well, since we got the whole power of truth,
mhm.
that's her thing. And because Chelsea and I've discussed this, like, what the hell is the power of truth? And then since I've read Crescent City 3, I think I know what the power of truth is. I think it ties into the Dust Court, and I think it ties in with the Starborn powers. I said it. That's what I think.
Nice. Yeah.
That's I I don't know. So let me ask anybody else. You know, what do you think of all the abbreviations? All of this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, have you learned anything today? Uh like I said again with our newsletter, I will be attaching part of it in there, give you a list of our most basic ones of ones that we didn't know. Um and that had helped us because it's nice once you have that little list, you can always go back to it until you
Yeah.
remember all of them.
Yeah.
Uh, Bookstagram basically gave us a whole new vocabulary,
Oh, yeah.
I would say.
Mhm.
Now, for everybody out there, what confused you most when you joined Bookstagram, and what term took you the longest to understand? How about you, Heather? For you, what confused you the most when you joined,
Oh my
and what
gosh.
took you the longest?
Um, I still today don't know cinnamon roll from a golden retriever. I still look that one up because they're so similar, but they lead
I
differently. So I have to look that up every time.
I consider that almost like the same thing, I
They
guess, in my mind.
But they lead different, like,
I
they do different things. They are similar in the good guy
Is
context.
is a cinnamon roll, he's just very sweet to her all the time, that kind of thing, and then a golden retriever, he will do anything for
I
her?
think it's
Is that how it plays?
yeah,
At least in
so,
my mind, that's how I
again, like,
think.
I'd have to look it up for the verbiage of it, but in my head, like, I'm still a little confused. Like, I know they're both, like, these good guys, but if I were to do a review and I wanted to name them one of these things, I would look it up
Mhm,
'cause I wanna get it right. But to
mhm.
me, a golden retriever is, yeah, like that ride or die. He's there for you. He's rooting you on. He's doing all the things like being cutesy and coming to you when you're sick and getting you your medicine and taking care of you and things like that. Whereas cinnamon roll also does those things, but he also does like behind the scene stuff and like
Mm.
interjects himself everywhere. And see, yeah, I need to look
I
this
don't
up.
I don't think I read I think in my in my
Let
in
me
my
see.
world, there's not a whole lot of cinnamon rolls or, golden retriever type guys do I read about. Mostly what I have, they are morally gray or villains. Woo, there's excitement happening at your house.
3 little boys. I have no idea what
Oh,
they're doing. Oh my god.
they're little people.
Oh,
Little people do these
oh my
things.
gosh. I get into
Mine are all
everything.
being quiet, but mine all have colds, so they're probably just all
Um,
watching their
oh, you know
video
what?
games.
There's like a vent outside, like the intake vent for the AC. They're hitting that. That's what you're hearing.
Oh,
Okay, so Cinnamon Roll is a fictional character, male love interest, in romance novels usually. Appears sweet, kind, supportive, pure on the outside like the pastry, but may have some hidden depths, trauma, or tough exterior. And like that
okay.
gooey center. So they're kind of like like everything that you want, but there's like some s-
Maybe a little darkness inside
darkness, but
or
when it
trauma
comes
of
to
some kind.
you, your main character, they're going to be gooey with the main character, but maybe like mean and like grumpy sunshine is kind of what I think
Okay.
of. Like they're the grumps,
Okay.
but then like they're gooey on the inside for the girl.
Okay. You would consider like Legends of
Mhm.
Thesmar, you would Wilder Hawthorne. I guess you could consider
Yeah.
him that.
Yeah.
You could consider Slade Ravenger, I guess, kind of, because that's a
Yeah.
grumpy versus sunshine kind of situation.
Yes.
So he could be kind of that
Except
because
for
he
he's
was
not the
wonderful to her.
sweet he's sweet, kind, supportive, pure on the outside, not so much. So,
No.
yeah.
Oh, I love my Slade Ravenger. So, so with that, that was super fun today. So if you are new here, welcome. If you're confused, we're confused all the time. Never
Yes.
pronounce anybody's name right. And if Bookstagram changed your reading life, you're our people.
Yeah.
DM us your Bookstagram confessions. Comment your biggest surprise.
I'm
And
an
share this
audience.
with someone. Oh, I know, I
Sorry.
love it. Uh, and share this with someone who's still learning the rules.
Yeah. Next episode though, we are going to go a little bit deeper into
Yep.
this part of Bookstagram, verbiage and should we say what we miss about Bookstagram or what we miss about our lives
But we are
before?
going to talk about that. We're going to discuss what our lives were. We're we're going to have this episode, and then we're going to have like a little mini episode,
Yeah, like a little
and then we're going to
deeper.
go into another one. But we're going to do a little mini one between these that I'm going to put up between these two episodes, and we're going to talk about what our life was before Bookstagram.
Yeah.
And then, but part two, because I guess you could say this episode is split in half.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking indie authors, arc pressures. Again, I don't do arcs, but Heather definitely
Yeah.
does them. And of course, our DNFs. Should I say what we miss about reading before Bookstagram? That's our thing we'll be doing prior.
Yeah.
Um, and then, and why not finishing a book doesn't mean, like we said at the beginning, we won't read that author again.
Right. Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But so if that makes sense to everybody. So again, we're on all the different platforms. Check us out on Spotify, on YouTube. Give us a like, subscribe to us. We're also on Apple. Because that helps us a lot if you subscribe to us and you give us a rating. But until next time,
Yeah.
good night, book
See you
babes.
later.